Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing a Swiss Magic Origins draft. We open Immerma Hellion, which I actually think, despite doing 50 drafts, this may be the first time I've actually gotten the chance to first pick an Immerma Hellion. New video up with Dennis from Windmill Slam. Check out MTGO Academy's YouTube page. I'll have the link to the video. And it was a 3-second slam draft, which was like a special type of draft. You can learn more about that by clicking the video in the description. So hope you enjoy that. But all right, let's take an Immerma Hellion first pick here. Other notable cards: Knightly Valor, Heart of Beast to find it, Disperse, Fetid Imp, Stalwart Aven are all very good picks. Even Chief of the Foundry is probably a reasonable first pick. Just keeps you completely open, but we'll take a powerhouse red card. Okay. Wow. Good choices here. I do like a Relic Seeker, but I'm kind of cool with just taking Fiery Conclusion and staying on color. There's also Claustrophobia, but I think Fiery Conclusion is actually a really strong removal spell. And I certainly don't mind taking it here, staying on color with first pick and getting a powerful removal spell. But yeah, Relic Seeker is fine. Even as a 2-mana 2/2 Renown one, it's good. You don't even have to use the cool, triggered ability. Claustrophobia, of course, a close pick as well. And Wild Instincts, which is very good, but we'll take the conclusion. I'm okay with that. Ooh, Easy Impulse. Love that spell. Other good cards in here. I like Scab Goliath, Watercourser Disciple, Husk, Blightcaster, plenty of other good cards, but I think Impulse might just be the best, so we're off to a pretty nice start with red cards here. Okay, I think we actually should take a second color card now. Might just be the Stalwart Aven. I want to be in red, so Citadel Castellan. I always forget how to pronounce it. And I've looked it up in dictionary.com twice now, and I always forget. Castellan or Castellan. It's one or the other. Whatever. We're going to take Stalwart Aven, I think. I like Blightcaster, but not a ton of enchantments I want to play in red. I mean, it synergizes fairly well, I guess, with like Infectious Bloodlust, but I think we'll just take Stalwart Aven. It's a good card. And I think it's the best card remaining in this. Well, the best card in this pack is the Citadel Castellan, but we're going to take the Stalwart Aven. All right, so choices here that I care about. Dwynen's Elite's very good if you end up with some sort of elf deck. It also has some random synergies with Fiery Conclusion. I think Elite's probably more exciting than Disciple. There's a Disperse in blue, which is okay. Eyeblight Assassin's not bad. I mean, Dwynen's Elite's not going to shine in red-green because you don't typically get a ton of elves. There's quite a few elves in black, like Eyeblight Assassin. There's no white pick I care about. I could just take the Vial. Vial's fine. It's not nearly as good as these other cards, though. So I think, just in case I end up in... Do I want the Elite or the Assassin? I actually don't know. I think I'm going to take the Elite. I think Elite's got some pretty big upside if you end up in green. Okay. Well, we have Grasp in white, which is good. We have Bully in red, which I want to play red. I definitely want to play red. So I could just take the Bully. I don't love Bully. I don't like that you have to keep attacking with it. We have a decent setup for it, though. Impulse, Conclusion are two pretty good cards for it. I could just take it. I think it's worse than Grasp and Eyeblight Assassin. Do I want to just take Grasp here? I could. Grasp is very good. I can just take the Bully. It's kind of tough, actually. I don't know how much I love the Bully. I could also just take the Husk. Husk typically has good synergies. You know what? I'm going to take the Husk. I feel like we have a decent chance to take some sort, or make some sort of black-red sack deck. Like, I could take Victor here pretty happily, actually. And steal something and sack it with Husk or Fiery Conclusion. And even if I don't end up in black, having Victor and Conclusion together is pretty good. I also want to continue to cut red, so I think I am just going to take the Victor. Interesting. None of these cards matter too much. Guess I'll take the Auramancer. Okay, wow. Heart of Beast, huh? Well, that's a really late Heart of Beast, so I guess I'll take it. We don't have any auras yet, but I have a feeling we can find some. Maybe I'm just supposed to play red-white then. Okay, I can do that. Auramancer number 2 versus some decent black cards that aren't insane. Auramancer's certainly not insane either. I could take Stratus Walk. It seems awkward since I for sure want to play red. We'll take Auramancer. Okay, Charging Griffin. All right, I think we're just in white. White-red. Okay. I'll solidify myself into this archetype, I think. Let's take Smash here, I guess, just in case. Cut red, take the Demolish. Sure, Prism Ring. All right. Pretty successful pack 1. We started off strong with 3 red picks, and then it dried up a little bit, but I think red-white is ultimately what we're doing here. I mean, Auramancers don't look particularly good at the moment, but maybe this ends up being some sort of Bloodlust deck, and they'll get a little bit better. Totem Guide Heart of Beast is a powerful card, but we don't have anything that works well with it yet. Well, Majoring Responder is pretty powerhouse, so I think we're going to take that, despite it being a 7-drop. There is Active Treason, which has good synergy with Fiery Conclusion as well in mono red, and I like Gearcrafter quite a bit, but we're going to take Responder, definitely. It's a strong powerhouse 7-drop. Okay, Titan Strength, Dragon Fodder, Whirler Rogue, jeez. Can I dip out of a color for Whirler Rogue? Whirler Rogue is ridiculously strong. I mean, it's just worlds higher than anything else in this pack. Celestial Flare, Dragon Fodder, Titan Strength, their own color. Whirler Rogue is just... I'm going to take Whirler Rogue. I could see myself dipping out of white. It's not as likely as I'd want to dip out of red. I think my 4 red cards are much better than my 5 white cards. But Whirler Rogue is just ridiculously strong. I'm going to take it. I'm going to hope it pans out. Yeah, and then we get past the Soulblade Djinn. Jeez. Crone Sergeant, Enthralling Victor, both of which are good. I'm going to take the Djinn. I'm just going to force my way into blue based on a Whirler Rogue and a rare, basically. And I think I'm going to be okay with that. I think I'm going to be able to make this work. And a foil blue rare, too. Jeez. These red cards are good. I'm still going to take Soulblade Djinn. Soulblade Djinn with Whirler Rogue is pretty nuts. Especially with, like, Impulse and Conclusion. Okay, we can take Fire Fiend Elemental. We can also take Screeching Scab. And both of those are more exciting than Scrapskin Drake. Looks like I'm going to be needing some early game. I don't mind taking the Screeching Scab. I think Fire Fiend Elemental is a pretty playable card, though. I probably want more early game. I don't have any... Oh, I do have Spell Mastery, so Screeching Scab, believe it or not, does have some synergy with Fiery Impulse. I do think Fire Fiend Elemental is alright, though. Can be good. Can be pretty unexciting, too, but I guess the same argument, you could say the same thing about Screeching Scab. It's not typically exciting. I guess I'll take Elemental. Okay, Gearcraft is fantastic. Like I said, Active Treason has good synergy with Fiery Conclusion, but we're slamming Gearcrafter here pretty happily. Just like it. Okay, we'll take Construct. Could actually take... Actually, I guess Clash of Wills is better. Yeah, Clash of Wills is better. Pretty happily taking that, actually. Okay. You know, for forcing our way into blue in Pack 2, I'm liking where we're at. We need 13 playables, but I'm confident we can find it. We should be able to make it work. I think I might just take a Majoring Bully here. Slightly more exciting than Goldforge Sentinel. I'm in need of some 2-drops. I think we could likely play Beatdown, all right. Majoring Bully for days. Otherwise, Evolving Wilds, splashing for, what, Totem Guide Heart of Beast? That doesn't seem necessary. I think we'll take the Bully. I think we're going to have a harder time taking the lands in this deck because we started on the blue plan a little bit late. But I'm okay playing Bullies. Can take the Epiphany. We actually have some couple artifact producers, possibly find some more. We have 3 artifact producers at the moment, or just artifacts. All right, I'll play it, potentially. I think I might actually want the Maritime Guard, although that doesn't play too well with the bullies. I could take tutelage here. I'm on the fence. I'm actually on the fence with tutelage. I might actually just want the Dragon Fodder. I think tutelage is good. I've certainly lost to it, even when my opponent's not playing dedicated mill. But I think I want something a little more proactive. I'm going to take the Dragon Fodder because it actually synergizes well with Mage Ring Bully and Soulblade Djinn in a couple ways as well. So I actually think Fodder is good in this deck. All right, Screeching Scab versus Construct. Also a foil Displacement Wave. Problem with Displacement Wave in this deck is I feel like it ends up bouncing quite a few of our things. It can be pretty powerful, though. I have 10 creatures, including Dragon Fodder, at the moment. I mean, it does just kill tokens. I'm actually going to take it. It's a rare, so you don't see it much. We get immediately rewarded with another 2-drop that we can play anyway. Sure, I'll take a barrier. I feel like, especially after getting blown out by Displacement Wave the other day, like, we have good cards with it, for sure. Imbermaw Hellion, Soulblade Djinn, and Mage Ring Responder are all cards where, you know, you pay 5 mana or even 6 mana, 5 or 6 mana, bounce everything and get in for a bunch of damage. It doesn't interact too well with Whirler Rogue since you end up just bouncing the Thopters, but I think that's okay. Acolyte's a snap pick, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Acolyte's just fantastic. There's also Sergeant Brute. All sorts of good red cards in here. Hopefully we table one of them, but Acolyte is absolutely the pick. Geez, past an Acolyte too. Slamming Acolyte number 2. There's a Chief of the Foundry, which synergizes well with Whirler Rogue, but Acolyte for days. Very good. Deck is looking very good. We're 5 playables away from a deck. I do see a few things I wouldn't mind cutting, but like I said, Dragon Fodder synergizes well with Mage Ring Bullies, Fiery Conclusion, Soulblade Djinn, even Imbermaw Hellion works well with that too. So Splash for Suppression Bonds? Probably not. There's a second Fire Fiend Elemental, which I don't think is bad. Could take a Subterranean Scout to make... Well, I can't make the Acolytes unblockable, right? I might just want Elemental number 2. Hopefully table a Scout or a Scab. I guess so. I'm okay with that, actually. Elemental for days. Otherwise, send to sleep. I guess we'll take another Elemental. I'm not a big Scrapskin Drake fan. I'm not a big fan of playing all these Elementals either, though. We don't really look like a Guardians deck so much. I guess I'll take Send to Sleep. Possibly play it. Would prefer not to. Infectious Bloodlust might have to be good enough, but I guess it plays well with Bully, maybe. Well, playing one of them's not great, but we'll take it. Alright, I think I'm okay with Vial here, actually. Slightly more exciting than Maritime Guard. Has good synergy with Soulblade Djinn still. Draw a card, pump your team. And it works with the Artificer's Epiphany as well. Okay. I guess... What are my cuts I want to do? Probably would prefer not to play Send to Sleep, but I guess I will if I have to. Probably would prefer to not play Infectious Bloodlust, especially as a one-of. I'm actually still on board with Displacement Wave. I think we're going to end up playing that. I mean, this is a fine deck. I would like to find an upgrade. I feel like we can do slightly better. I don't know about multiple Epiphanies. I've got 1, 2, 3... Only 4 artifacts. It seems unlikely that Epiphany is going to work. I don't really care about any of these cards, though. I just don't see myself playing a second Epiphany. Guess it's possible. It's really not likely, though. All right. Turn of Frog versus Cobble Brute. I feel like I'm kind of good on 4-drops. Turn of Frog's not a great combat trick, but it actually works well with the bullies, so I think it's actually good for this deck. I'm going to cut a Bloodlust for it, I think. I may actually end up playing a Send to Sleep. I'm not sure yet. I might have to do a count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 spells that turn it on. Maybe I need a Deep Sea Terror. How many cards am I putting in my graveyard? I guess Screeching Scab feeds it. Could also take the Rambler. Maybe Rambler is... They're both pretty mediocre. I'm going to take the Rambler. All right, Scab, and I think we're playing that over the Rambler probably. I'd rather just have a lower curve. I don't like Scab too much alongside the Turn to Frog, but I guess it does turn on Send to Sleep and Impulse, so Screeching Scab is probably fine in this deck. I guess we cut a Ox maybe? Rabid Bloodsucker just helps our plan. All right. Centaur is probably better against us than a Messenger. All right. So we ended up with a pretty decent little blue-red brew here. We look aggressive. So if we look aggressive, I want to cut non-aggressive cards, which might just be Displacement Wave. I have 16 creatures, including the Dragon Fodder. My removal is actually pretty lackluster, but not the worst. Turn of Frog, Conclusion, Impulse. All right. Removal's a little bit lacking. I guess Mage Ring Responder is kind of removal too. Our creatures' quality is pretty good overall. Maybe I actually cut Epiphany. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to get artifacts. Is that right? Yeah. I feel like most of the time I'm going to draw 2 cards and discard a card. So let's just dump this. Keep the Displacement Wave. It'll be like our ace in the hole if we've got a Soulblade Djinn or an Imbermaw or Mage Ring we want to push through. Or even, like, our 4-drop count is high enough where I could see pushing some Fire Fiend Elementals through, working out for us. Even bouncing a Gearcrafter is not the worst, especially if you've already lost your token. It does not work well alongside Dragon Fodder, but it's okay. I think this is the right build. I like this. Good creature count. Our removal is a little bit lacking, but not the worst. I actually wish we could upgrade Send to Sleep. I just don't think we have enough to support it. Yeah, we only have 5 ways. Kind of, well, I'm not feeling Send to Sleep in here. I mean, it does actually work kind of well alongside the Bullies. You tap down to get through. It works decent alongside the Infernos as well. That's interesting. I just don't love Send to Sleep in this build. If I had more... I don't know what I would run over it, though. Could do an Epiphany over it. Epiphany actually works well alongside Bullies, too. Even if you don't have an artifact, draw 2, discard 1 at instant speed, attack in, draw 2, discard 1. I would actually consider Send to Sleep if I had enough gas for it. I just don't. I don't have enough. This card's just not very good without Spell Mastery, and I really don't have enough to support Spell Mastery. So I think I'm actually going to cut it for the Epiphany. I think I'd rather basically cycle 2 cards, and I'd rather draw 2, discard 1, than tap 2 guys down aggressively. I think. I'm pretty sure that's right. Otherwise, I mean, I could randomly run like another 6-drop, but I feel like our top end is decent already. Rambler's not that great anyway. Okay, or a Bloodlust, but Bloodlust with nothing to find is just really poor, I think. All right, I'm okay with this. Like I said, our creatures are very good. I think where we're lacking is removal, but we're gonna have to run it like this. So they say 9/8. I probably am okay with that, actually. We definitely have more red and red early, but we need double blue fairly early. So we'll do 9/8. Yeah, this deck's okay. I don't have any issues really with this deck. We look pretty aggressive. Other than the removal issue, I think this deck is just fine the way it is. So we'll run it like this. I actually don't run blue-red all that often either, so we'll see how this goes for us. All right, we'll see you round one.